Hare Krishna devotees, Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Guru and Gauranga. So continuing our discussion on Srila Prabhupada's small book, The Perfection of Yoga. So we have already done with chapter number 5. Now we are going to start next chapter, which is chapter number 6. It is about yoga as freedom from duality and designations. So before starting our discussion, let us offer respectful obeisances in form of Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadavayam Dadati Swapadantigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishivano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaur Tusri Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So first of all, I welcome all the devotees who are hearing this series of Srila Prabhupada books reading, and thank you so much for giving your valuable time to read the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, which is not different from him. So let us start with our chapter number 6, Yoga as freedom from duality and designation. This material world is the world of duality. At one moment, we are subject to the heat of the summer season, and at the next moment, the cold of winter. Or at the one moment, we are happy, and the next moment, we are distressed. At the one moment, honored, and at the next moment, dishonored. In the material world of duality, it is impossible to understand one thing without understanding its opposite. It is not possible to understand what honor is unless I understand dishonor. Similarly, I cannot understand what misery is if I have never tasted happiness. Nor can I understand what happiness is unless I have tasted misery. One has to transcend such dualities. But as long as this body is here, these dualities will be here also. Insofar as one strives to get out of bodily conceptions, not out of body, but out of bodily conceptions, one has to learn to tolerate such dualities. In distress and happiness is due to the body alone. It is like a skin disease or skin itch. Just because there is itching, one should not be mad after it to scratch it. I repeat, just because there is itching, one should not be mad after it to scratch it. We should not go mad or give up our duty just because mosquitoes bite us. There are so many dualities one has to tolerate. But if the mind is fixed in Krishna consciousness, all these dualities will seem insignificant. How is it one can tolerate such dualities? Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutustho Vijitendriya Yukta Iti Uchate Yogi Samalostras Makanchana. Translations. A person is said to be established in self-realization is called a yogi or a mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such person is situated in transcendence and is self-control. He sees everything, whether it is pebble, stone or gold, as the same. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse number 8. Jnana means theoretical knowledge and Vijnana refers to practical knowledge. For instance, a science student has to study theoretical scientific concepts as well as the applied science. Theoretical knowledge alone will not help. One has to be able to apply this knowledge. Similarly, in yoga, one should have only theoretical knowledge but practical knowledge. But simply understanding I am not this body and at the same time acting in non-sensual way will not help. There are so many societies where members seriously discuss Vedanta philosophy while smoking and drinking and enjoying the sensual life. It will not help if one has knowledge theoretically. This knowledge must be demonstrated. One who truly understands I am not this body will actually reduce his bodily necessities to the minimum. When one increases the demand of the body while thinking I am not this body, then of what use of that knowledge? A person can only be satisfied when there is a jnana and a vijnana side by side. When a person is situated on practical level of spiritual realization, it should be understood he is actually situated in yoga. Very nice statement. When a person is situated on practical level of spiritual realization, means filled with vijnana, practical level of spiritual realization, it should be understood he is actually situated in yoga. It is not like that one should continue to attend yoga classes and yet remain the same throughout his life. There must be practical realization. And what is the sign of the practical realization? The mind will be calm and quiet and no longer agitated by attraction of the material world. This is the proof. If you are practicing yoga, then there is some realization, and by this realization you can control your mind. The mind will be calm and quiet and no longer agitated by the attraction of material world. Thus, self-controlled. One is not attracted by the material glitter and he sees everything pebbles, stones or gold as the same. In the material civilization, so much paraphernalia is produced just to satisfy the senses. These things are produced under the banner of material advancement. He who is situated in yoga sees such paraphernalia just to sow much rubbish in the street. Moreover, Surat Mitra Udasina Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhusu Sadhusu Apicha Papeshu Samabuddhir Vishishyate is mentioned in translations like that. A person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all the honest, well-wishers, friends and enemies, the envious and the pious, the sinners and those who are indifferent and impartial, with an equal mind. There is a translation from chapter 6, verse number 9. So there are different kinds of friends. There is Suhrat, who is by nature a well-wisher and it always desiring one's welfare. Mitra refers to an ordinary friend, and Udasina is one who is neutral. In this material world, someone may be my well-wisher, friend, or neither friend or nor enemy but neutral. Someone else may serve as mediator between me and my enemies. And in this verse, he is called Madhyastha. One may also see someone as pious and another as sinful according to his own calculations. But when he is situated in transcendence, all of these friends, enemies or whatever cease to exist. When one becomes actually learned, he doesn't see any enemy or any friend, because in actuality no one is my friend, no one is my enemy. No one is my father, no one is my mother, etc. We are all simply living entities playing on stage in the dress of father, mother, children, friend, enemy, sinner and saint, etc. It is like a great drama with so many characters playing their parts However, on the stage, a person may be an enemy or whatever, but off the stage, all the actors are friends. Similarly, with this bodies, we are playing on the stage of material nature, and we attract so many designations. And we attach so many designations to one another. I may be thinking this is my son, but actually I cannot beget my son. I may be thinking this is my son, but in actuality I cannot beget any son. It is not possible. At the utmost, I can only beget a body. It is not within any man's powers to beget a living entity. Merely by sexual intercourse, a living entity cannot be begotten. The living entity must be placed in the emulsification of secretions. This is the verdicts of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the verdicts of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thus, all the multifarious relationships between bodies are just so much stage play. One who actually realizes and has actually attained yoga no longer sees this bodily designations. So this is the crux. Externally we are looking like we are designations. This person is so and so officer, businessman, entrepreneur, worker, labor, whatever may be, actor. But internally we are all living entities. If we are on that stage of seeing the persons or seeing the living entity, not other than any persons or not any designation, then we are actually transcend our consciousness. And upon this, achieving on this part or this level of consciousness, we actually realize our Krishna consciousness and we become advanced in our devotional service. And all miseries, which is based on the designations, will automatically come down and it will be vanquished, permanently vanquished. Thank you so much. Your servant, Brajeshwar Tanaya Das.